This is GV-TV, Radical TV, radically different, originating from Grand Valley State University in Allendale, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Greg Struss.
I'm not a talk show host. I just play one on TV.
This week we're going to introduce you to some people and places that maybe you're not familiar with. The Gothic. The Unexplored.
The benign.
The Doomed. The Eccentric. Hey, what is this thing?
It all takes place in a part of town we like to call Grand Alley.
The Cavernous Basement Studios here in Allendale. You're in Grand Alley with Gregory Struss. I'm Pex Bigham. Inviting you to stay tuned because in the next half hour we'll be hanging out with WGVU's own Storm Rogers, singer Joe Cornelius, and master of special events Dan Seeley. And now, Dick Tracy's archenemy, blockhead, Gregory Struss.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Welcome. I don't know if anyone told you, but Greek games are just down the hall. Thank you so much. Well, this is our first show from beautiful Allendale, Michigan. Let's hear it for Allendale. I think. And when I haven't been sleeping, eating, or learning how to care for my new silo, I was busy putting together a cast and crew for the big show. And I'm proud to report that the streets are a lot safer. Thank you so much. We have all these people working for us. Now, here's something that's kind of funny. It's the latest rumor at Afterwards. I don't know if any of you have heard of Afterwards, our coffee house. We can give that a nice big round of applause. It's, I would have to say, would you say that's kind of like the cultural wasteland here at Grand Valley? It's not a wasteland. It's what's a positive term? It's a cultural icon. Thank you so much. You're hired. Anyway, here's the latest rumor. It claims that a GVSU Dutch student union is demanding victims' compensation from the state of Michigan, and because a Dutch boy paints and Russ's restaurant's Pig in a Blanket. And we're pleased to announce that Governor Engler has responded by cutting 90,000 tulips from the Tulip Festival this spring, and that'd be so fun. There's some other local news this week in Grand Valley. It was drawn into a controversy surrounding Herstein and Murray's book, The Bell Curve. Any of you familiar with the Bell Curve? Thank you so much. Anyway, the Bell Curve is a statistical. I know these things because I still have statistics to take. Anyway, it's shaped like a bell. I don't know. Is there a religious symbol with that? We don't know. We'll get someone to do the research. Anyway, we had a professor from Yale. Professor from Yale came to visit here and to discuss the findings with this book. And on the right side of the intelligence curve, you have doctors, lawyers, writers, and people who live happy, full lives. And on the left side, you have student senators doing their best to represent the students. Bing zip. I think I'm going to be here all week. And speaking of student senators, it's fascist, imperialistic dogs like that who are very fabric. Hold on a minute. Who's doing our cue cards? Is this guy Union?
Oh, yeah.
Get him out of here. He's got a bomb, too. Get him out! Get him out!
No, you don't understand. No, we gotta get rid of
Gosh.
the pigs. They're gonna take away our
We have some great security people here. Let's give our security a nice round of applause. Now get those funny cards back. We'll have to get those funny cards. We'll go play poker with them afterwards. Anyway, I just received my senior audit. Have any of you received senior audit? We have any seniors? Do you have your audit? Okay. And it turns out I'm the only student here who's on tenure track. But it turns out I still have Math 110 to take, which is algebra. Any of you had algebra? Oh, yeah. Are you sure? Okay. Well, I'm a talk show host. Why would I need to have algebra? So I head down to the shiny new Student Services building and take a look at a list, and we've compiled it here of some of the new math classes because I've been trying to talk with my advisor about getting out of taking Math 110. So if you're in the same predicament, you might want to consider Math 098. No, wait, I'm sorry, that wasn't Math 198. Okay, it's Math 298. Tuition bills and you. You can learn which parts of your bill buy the administration lunch. Math 299. It's ARA food pricing. Any of you have heard this? Might be interested in taking it? Okay. It's how to budget for college and still have enough money for bread and water. And finally, we have Math 361. Where the hell's my money? It's loan sharking and good record keeping. So you might want to consider taking those. Yeah, you can give it applause. They're available here right at Grand Valley. And this is just a reminder to tell you we have nothing but the best fat-free, low-cal jokes without any of that greasy humor. I'm going to go to McDonald's after this is over. Anyway, on tonight's show, we have Storm Rogers from Jazz Radio. Jazz Radio. Yeah, it's that electric thing. We paid our electric bill here, so we're able to do that. Storm Rogers from GVU hosts the show, Saturday Night Blues. Let's hear it for Storm. He'll be here. And here's a guy who can talk about many, many things. He has interest in archaeology. What else are his other interests? Do we know? Well, he said something about archaeology, Native Americans, the whole deal. He knows so much. I don't know how much time we're going to have to talk with him. Dan Seeley, who's in charge of special events, the good man, will be here. And we were running across the Lanthorn, which we read here on campus. That's our campus paper put together by a great group of individuals. And we came across Joe Cornelius. Joe plays for our Lakers. He's a football player, and he's just released an album with, I guess, a couple songs. So we're going to hear from one of them. Joe Cornelius is here. And Pax, my good man, come on down. Now this is Pax. Get your microphone here. No, you can get your microphone. Come on out here. You can bond with us out here. This is television. It's a very close-up medium. All right, Pax, you're with WCKS. You guys are putting together a number of things, talking about an AM station, the whole deal, right? You got to hold.
That's right.
He's in radio and doesn't know how to hold a microphone. Now, okay, here you go. That's okay. You want to do your Elvis impersonation for us?
Oh, no.
Okay. So tell us what's going on. CKS is going to go AM. Right now it's on campus, correct?
That's right. We're going AM very soon. We're having a lot better response from the whole community here at campus, on campus, so they're helping us out a lot to do that.
So right now they can hear you on
cable station, right?
Okay. And is there anything else you want to tell us about? How's your personal life going, okay?
Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. Pax, take it away with how the folks can write us. Pax Bingham, everyone.
All right. Hey, if you're tired of watching those caustic national shows on television, why not visit ours instead? That's right, we want you as a member of our studio audience. Well, providing you haven't been charged with a weapons offense, contact us at Grand Alley with Gregory Struss, GVTV, School of Communications, Grand Valley State University, Allendale, Michigan, 49401. Or if you see Greg around campus, just stick a Post-it note on him. And now here's more of the show with Gregory Struss.
It's okay, it is. Our first guest is a star football player. He's been playing for Grand Valley several years now, and he has a new LP out. Are we ready to hear from Joe? Is everything cool? We're going to hear from Joe. But for now, we're going to listen to a track from his show. Please welcome Joe Cornelius, everyone. Joe.
Sitting here, I feel so all alone. I wait by the phone for your call to make sure you're safely home. And I must confess that your love sweeps me off my feet. 'Cause when you're near me, I sweat. But when you're gone, I'm incomplete. And I never knew that love could really be so strong. But now I know how it feels. This love can't be wrong. And I can feel the passion burning within. And this must be love for your girl, because lusting is a sin. pick up the phone. Why don't you, baby? I know you're home. So why don't you pick up the phone? I know you're home, oh yeah. Listen, I don't need a love to let me down. What I need is a lover who will always be around. And I would never hurt you, oh no. And you know I'm not a thief, and I wanna freak your body, baby, to make you weak in the knees. You're the type of girl I need in my life. And you know one day, girl, you'll be my wife. Now pick up that phone. I know you're home and you're all alone. So why don't you pick up the phone? I know you're home and you're all alone. Listen. Pick it up, 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 lady. I didn't mean to make you cry, baby. So please don't you ever say goodbye. Pick up that phone. I know that you're home. Oh no, baby. Why don't you pick up the phone? Oh, lady, come on, come on. Why don't you pick up the phone? Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Oh yeah, pick up the phone. I'm tired of all this confusion, oh lady. So why don't you just pick up the phone? I know you might have a problem with me, oh baby, but come on, let's see if we can work it out. Pick it up, oh baby, pick it up, oh yeah.
Now tell us how you got this idea for the song. Now, I noticed I was reading in the Lanthorn. They did a nice article about what you were doing, and you used to live in Detroit, correct? And you grew up on the west side, east side?
East side.
East side. And several of your friends were hurt in some kind of way, and they kind of inspired your music?
Yeah, it kind of inspired me. I mean, because they were the ones that really believed in me at first. But, I mean, I was involved in sports all the time, so I never really had the chance to do anything in high school because I was always involved with sports. But since I got to college, I'm only in one sport mainly. I run track also, but it gives me a little more time to be, on my musical side.
And so your roommates have been very supportive, and they're kind of the people.
Yeah, my roommates, Kwame McKinnon, Keith Gilmore, and Jamie Lay. Yeah.
So how's the record doing right now?
Well, it just came out yesterday, and we have been moving some copies, so the rest will be mainly in the record stores next week.
So we're looking more of like a regional release?
Yeah, regional, then we're branching out.
Great. You're going to be performing out here on campus, or?
Yeah, pretty soon. I don't know the date yet, but sometime before the school year is over with.
Okay. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for
you
coming
too.
on our first show. Joe Cornelius. We will take a break and be back with Storm Rogers. Stay with us.
This is GVTV, television with an attitude, originating from Grand Valley State University in Allendale, Michigan.
Welcome back to the show. Boy, we're running smoothly, aren't we? This is great. We have a lot of fun today. Our next guest is the host of Saturday Night Blues. This is a program that airs on our sister station out in Grand Rapids. He can be heard every, I believe it's Saturday night. Well, of course it's Saturday night. It would have to be Saturday Night Blues from, I believe, 8 to midnight. Is that right, Storm? Please welcome from Jazz Radio, Blues Radio, Storm Rogers. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Now, you have been very patient, and I want to thank you for being so patient, for hanging out with us today. Tell us a little bit. Well, actually, we have someone celebrating their birthday in the audience. And
Well, you know what? I happen to have something for
What do
him.
you have?
I happen to have a T-shirt for him. Who is it anyway?
It's RJ. Can we
RJ?
see RJ?
Come on up here a minute, will you?
We're giving away. This is publicity. What do we say?
This is a Tuesday Blues Concert Series T-shirt, and you can have that for your birthday.
Thank you.
You betcha. And I also happen to have one for you today.
Freebies. I love it. Thank you. I'll tell you, I really enjoy your show. As much as I'm on the road quite a bit, doing that moonlighting thing in our regular day job, I really enjoy listening to your program. It's quite entertaining.
Well,
You were mentioning last week as we were talking that Saturday Night Blues brings in 30%.
Yeah,
Of the revenue for-
30% of the revenue at the station there.
So you're pretty much doing your own thing, or
Yep.
no one comes up to you and tells you?
Nope. We just go in there and we start out with some green onions every Saturday night at 8, and we see where it goes from there. Whatever mood I'm in or the callers call in, that's where we go. We take it from there. It's public radio, and to keep it public radio, you have to keep the public involved,
So you don't have a producer or somebody that walks in and books all your music?
No.
So
It's
do
all
you-
right off the cuff.
Oh, so you just walk in and decide, all right, I'm going to go with this, I'm going to go with this,
Right.
I'm going to... Sounds like the show.
And it works that way
It works that way.
sometimes.
Well, that's it. I mean,
Right.
so it's spontaneous.
All of it is, yes.
And when you talk about public radio and you get into the political side of it, as far as Newt Gingrich is concerned, there's been a lot of controversy with the future of public radio, public television, because they feel that government shouldn't be involved in television or radio. How's that affecting your? Now this is right. This is pretty much what
Yeah.
we're hearing from the media.
Yeah, right. If they cut the funding, it's going to cost WGVU and WGVK about $800,000 a year, and that means we would have to pull that out of the community. You'd force public radio and TV into selling more underwriting and basically commercials. That's what you would do. Instead of, the beauty of public radio is you can get a 20-minute music sweep or a half hour with no interruptions at all. That's what public radio really should be. If you cut that funding and our funding is down and we have to sell underwriters, we would have to interrupt the music. You'd have to interrupt your programming, for that. And that's, what we're against. I guess. Not against, but
But you want to have more of a free-flowing.
yeah, I mean, you listen to the radio for music.
So I listen. I didn't send in a check this time, but I still got a shirt.
Yeah.
This would cost me $50.
So now
right,
you
if I-
really owe.
Now, you've been doing Saturday Night Blues for about 2 years, or
Yeah.
2 years or so.
Yeah.
And is it as exciting today as it was when you started 2 years ago? Or are you
Yeah.
just kind of at the crossroads where you're thinking, I'd like to try something?
No,
new," or-
I'd like to, I would like to sell it on NPR someday. That's a show that you could actually sell and make the station money. And I think that's a possibility.
But no one has come up to you, or you haven't really approached anyone to do that?
Um,
Why don't we make a TV show, put both of them back to back, then we probably got a pretty good idea.
It's been mentioned to me before, yeah. But I haven't done anything really with it. For me, it's fun just to go in there for 4 hours, turn the monitors up, and you noticed that.
Yes, we had fun.
And just have fun, you know.
Now, there's a pretty big blues following here in West Michigan,
Yes,
and
there
I'll tell
is.
you, after living in Chicago for quite some time and listening to our jazz station, I think we have one of the best jazz stations in the Midwest, if not the country. Programming now blues, Lunch Bucket Blues at noon to 1. How has the West Michigan blues scene affected your program? Do you have a lot of support from those folks there? Or?
Yeah, we do. The West Michigan Blues Society is really growing. The memberships, I couldn't tell you the numbers, but there's probably around 700 or 800 now, and they're only 2 years old. It's just a growing thing. In the last 2 years at WGVU, Saturday Night Blues has grown from 12 hours. They used to go from 6 to 6 on Saturday nights. Now they're doing Friday nights for an hour. They're doing the Lunch Bucket Blues. The blues people in the area really support it on radio, and we're doing free concerts. That's what your T-shirt is from. And we were averaging probably around 550 people at the Orbit Room.
Great.
And these were national acts that would come in, you know, during the winter. During the summertime, on Wednesday nights down at the amphitheater, you'll see crowds of 2,000 to 3,000 people, you know.
So what's left? What's left after all of this goes on? What do you think? What do you see your future as being? Would you like to go national? Are you pretty much happy with having it as a hobby?
Oh, I'm real happy having it as a hobby. I am. That keeps it fun. That keeps it no pressure for me. I can go in there on a Saturday night and just have fun. If it goes national, then there's some pressure with that, you know, and I don't know if I want to take that on or not. I like to keep it fun.
Well, we hope that you continue your successful gig there, because a number of us enjoy listening
Well, thank
to it.
you. I
Thanks for
appreciate
being
it.
so patient.
Thanks
Coming
for
out for
having
our
me.
first show.
Hey,
Have a
good
seat
luck
there.
to you.
Thank you. Storm Rogers. We will return in just a moment. Stay with us. We have returned, and we're talking with Dan Seeley. Let's hear it for Dan. Dan's in charge of the special events, your coordinator. Talk about cutting time. You imagine how much time it takes to walk from there to here? We were going to jog and kind of do that aerobics thing. Now tell us about being the special events coordinator. What exactly do you do?
We handle a lot of the sound arrangements for the auditorium performances over in LAT, Cook DeWitt Center, the Field House, and a lot of the outdoor activities that go on.
And you also helped us here, and we really appreciate that. Now, you're also an alumni. You just couldn't get enough of this place, or what?
Well, there's a lot of opportunity at Grand Valley, not only socially, but in extracurricular activities. They have good departments here in archaeology, biology. The astronomy department has a lot of activities in the summer. So the involvement in campus is as rewarding as the work is.
So you are very interested in archaeological, is that a word, archaeological findings, or it's archaeology? Archaeology.
Right.
It's archaeological, right?
they say the key
Purely
to the
logical.
future, right, is the past. And so studying the past and the elements of it can indicate where not only your future is going, but the society which you're operating in.
So where's Grand Valley going? Through archaeology.
If we can...
we have quite a bit, right? I mean, there's the ravine and everything. I mean,
Oh, sure. Well, the American Indian was here before the white man, and I'm sure there's going to be other races here over the life of the planet. Charles Murray was indicating in his book, The Bell Curve,
the bell curve again. Okay.
The social structure was going to become one of a custodial relationship between the intellectual elite and everyone else. And that the phenomena of the bell curve is that there are more and more white people ending up at the bottom of the bell curve than at the top of the elites.
I thought you were going to compare maybe student senate against the student body or something. I don't know if there was something with that. You're involved with student senate, aren't you? I'm just teasing, that's all.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. Please, write in.
Well, he indicates that the elite are going to be controlling with their power and with their vast amount of resources, cash, and that the custodial relationship will end up in the creative side of the human being squashed by the need to succumb to the new power structure.
Is it going to help our football team? That's just a joke. I'm just kidding. No, that's what you're talking about. That's what we need to do. Now, you enjoy, obviously, what you do, and you've been here for quite some time. What do you see happening? What would you like to see happen out here, besides, of course, having a TV show originate?
Well, I always liked rock and roll, and when I was involved as a student here in radio and the newspaper, the emphasis was on getting involved in the student senate to procure the funds to operate. That's an activity, but it's not rock and roll. Rock and roll is drums and guitars, a lot of sound, a lot of visual effects, like the production that we have that takes all the time in the show here. And in order to engage in rock and roll, you have to get involved in the political system. And my personal contribution to Grand Valley is that I own the drums, I own the guitars, I have the personal motivation to haul around the big speaker cabinets and the tons of copper cable it gets to operate to prove that it's fun. Rock and roll itself is fun.
So do you want to bring all of it here?
I do it as much as possible. We do it as much as possible.
Well, we appreciate taking some time on. I'm so sorry that we're out of time. Will you join us sometime again in the very near future?
You bet.
We've kind of overbooked for this show. We'll have a party afterwards and I guess do rock and roll or something. Thanks a lot for taking some time coming up. Dan Seeley, everyone. We are... Well, I guess, is this it? This is it. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank our guest, Storm Rogers, for being here. I want to thank Dan Seeley for being here, Joe Cornelius for being here, and with any luck, we'll be here again next week with something fascinating, body piercing, and much, much more. My thanks to the studio audience, our cast, our crew. Greg Struss, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.